One of the most common questions I get when I talk about bourbon or whiskey is, what is my most hated whiskey? What is the worst whiskey I've ever had? Or what whiskey doesn't fit well with my palate? Now, typically I come up with the same couple that I just really dislike, that don't fit well with me, but I wanted to see if other people dislike the same thing. So I went online, checked out some reviews, and I honestly feel like the world's kind of agreeing with me right now. So we're gonna dive into 5 bottles I think I personally don't like, and I think other people don't like as well. So we're gonna dive into those reviews now. Now for the first bottle we're gonna dive into, let's go ahead and, before I tell you what it is, let's read the reviews. So I got a couple for each. This one says, 2 out of 10, tastes like Crown Royal. This review says, it's trashed on because of the price. The whiskey isn't bad, but leaves a lot to be desired for $40 MSRP. The guy below it says, $40 for blended whiskey, that is mostly Canadian whiskey at that, just unjustifiable to me. The last review says, I think 3.1 is being generous. This is a drain pour, and he did leave a picture of him pouring it down the drain. Which leaves us to, this is going to be Traveler's Whiskey. Now I've reviewed this one myself. It is part of the Buffalo Trace lineup. I'll say it's not completely horrible, but it's Canadian whiskey. That is what it is, and most people didn't go into it thinking that, right? They went in thinking it was gonna be like a Tennessee whiskey, it's gonna be something along the lines, because it is partnered with Chris Stapleton. So it kind of leaves it to say this is definitely just a celebrity endorsed whiskey for a money grab. Now, the people that do believe this bottle is for, and I'll still stand by that, is this is like a gift thing for somebody that's not really into whiskey and they just kind of have alcohol, they have a mini bar at the home. This is a cool little piece to have on the shelf and say, oh, that's Chris Stapleton's whiskey. But that's as far as it goes, besides the bottle has a pretty cool map on the inside. So this one, I'm not a fan of. I think it's very approachable for somebody that's not into whiskey, but that's because it's kind of flavorless. So again, let me know your thoughts. Do you like this bottle? But let's go ahead and dive into bottle number 2. Now number 2, to be honest, was recommended by a lot of people. At least I thought so. I thought the Discord and I thought my channel was telling me to pick this bottle up in particular. I don't know what they actually meant, but apparently they didn't mean this one. So let's dive into the review. This guy says, the bottle of this I got tastes exactly like a dry cornfield. I don't know if that's good or if that's bad, but I don't personally think that's a note I'm looking for. Next guy says, I hated that I laid 50 plus for this. The Jim Beam Extra Age makes this one suck a duck. I don't know why you're bringing Jim Beam into this, but like, I get it. Like, the Extra Age Jim Beam is kind of good. So I get where you're going with it. Last review here says, I'd give this a 4 out of 10. Boring, weak finish, gimmick. Now, I don't know about the gimmick part, but I know this bottle in particular does come with a key because it is blade and bow. Now, again, I thought people recommended it to me. It has a cool shaped bottle. I like the colors, but like, again, if I'm talking more about the bottle than the liquor in the inside, we do have a problem. So again, this one, it had a good attempt, but it just kind of lacks. You know, it's very grain forward. It has a little hint of sweetness, but there's nothing much going on with this one. And you know, I'd expect more from like a 91 proofer. Again, I'm not expecting the world, but for $50, come on. I need more than that. So again, not one I personally recommend. I don't really drink it. I still have the same bottle I reviewed it with. I just really don't like going back to it. So again, not for me. These bottles are meant for somebody. It just ain't me. Now this next bottle may piss a lot of people off. I'm not a fan of it. I've tried to like it. I really wanted to like it. And it may just be the bottles that I've had of it. But there is other people out there that agree with me. Now the reviews were kind of weird and off the wall, right, to me. But I'm gonna let you know what I found on them. So this next bottle, this guy says, gimmicky bullshit bourbon. Okay, I get it. I don't get the gimmicky part though. But I appreciate your review. Next guy says, I think this is a 4 out of 10 at best. Only had 1 pour though, so maybe I'll go back to it to get disappointed again. Brutal. Next guy says, I hated this, super gasoline-y, still have it because I don't drink it. I mean, I still have mine because I don't really drink it, so I get it. It did have like an ethanol kind of burn to it, but a little bit more than you would expect from a 100 proofer. So let's dive into the next one. This might give it away. This guy says, I bought the metal cap and I overpaid a little $30. It was very unimpressive to me. Even if the black cap is better, it wouldn't be tremendously better for me to care. I'm not interested in tracking one down to find right now. Benchmark Foolproof is my budget bottle. Last one though, last review says, after not seeing this for months, I saw some bottles the other week and picked one up. Neck pour was really disappointing and thin. I get it. Every time I've drank it, I've kind of been disappointed. But I do know people love this bottle, and I am talking about the early times bottled in bond. Now, there's a big controversy between the black cap and the blue cap. The black cap's better, the blue cap sucks. It is what it is. I don't know because I haven't had the black cap, but I have had the blue cap. And as much as this one kind of gives me a couple redeeming factors, that it is sweet, it is 100 proof, but the cherries are fairly medicinal. So one thing about this bottle in particular for me, that the bottle I have straight up tastes like cough medicine. So I personally don't care for this. Some people will try and beat me up over that one because they think this is an amazing budget bottle. And I guess like if you want to argue the price into it, then sure, but like I don't care what it costs. If I don't like it, I'm not drinking it. So that is another bottle I don't typically recommend. Let's go ahead and dive into the next one. Now this next bottle, again, kind of see mixed reviews on it. Some people love it, some people hate it. I guess it just depends on who you are. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the review portion. This guy says, probably most overrated gimmicky bottle ever. Big claims on gimmicky bottle. Somebody right below it says, you must have forgot about Whistle Pig. It's not Whistle Pig. But I was just like, damn, Whistle Pig's out here taking strays. Next review says, honestly don't care how it tastes. I'd like a bottle on my shelf. It's purty. Again, might be giving it away. But again, if you're talking about the bottle rather than the liquor on the inside, typically there's a problem. Next review says, it's boring, but not bad. Again, some people like it. Some people don't. Again, the bottle's probably selling it. Next review says, this is the blandest whiskey I've ever had. However, all my non-whiskey drinking friends and fam love it. Again, I think it's something to do with like the bland whiskeys that like people that really don't drink whiskey or bourbon like that, they kind of like gravitate towards this kind of stuff. Don't know why, but I have had family that do like this bottle. It's the only reason I haven't like thrown it out, because when they come over, they drink it. Last review says, sometimes the caribou crap is, I just messed it up, hold on. Sometimes the caribou craps in tall grass, sometimes it craps in a bottle. Cheers, Canada. So that obviously gave it away. We are talking about Caribou Crossing Single Barrel. Again, this is an 80 proof bottle of Canadian whiskey. It is pretty, right? It has the wax, it has the caribou on top, it's got the Rock Hill Farms bottle. It's got the best of Rock Hill Farms and Blanton's with a little bit of wax on it. The colors are great, but again, I don't care what the bottle looks like. The bottle's cool, I get it. And make a nice decanter, but I'm not spending that much money to get a glass. You know, I'll go buy a decanter if I want a fancy one. Inside stuff just doesn't really hit with any marks that I want. It's too low a proof, it's too thin, it's not enough of anything. So, cool bottle, but just doesn't, it's not something I could personally recommend. But it is another Buffalo Trace one. So Buffalo Trace has 2 Canadian whiskeys in the lineup, which is kind of crazy. So, again, don't recommend this one. But let's go ahead and dive into the last one, and this one is one that I do not like with a fiery passion. It's a me thing. It's not a you guys thing. It's a me thing. So let's dive into that one. All right, first review says, have a bottle of this on the shelf. It's not terrible. It's not good. It's just boring. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I don't know if it's boring. I personally just don't think it's fitting with my palate. But boring would be kind of strange because I feel like it's a little off the wall. Next one says, this one to me is straight earth. Mud, grass, wet wood. I just can't get past those notes to find anything exciting about this. I also really excited to try this one and was very disappointed. Would definitely rate it lower than Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey 101. Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey 101 was out here taking strays for zero reason. I don't even put them in the same category. Wild Turkey 101 is great, by the way. Buffalo Trace isn't bad either. Like I like it. It's just, I mean, I like other things more, but Wild Turkey 101 is a solid budget bottle. I don't get why he was catching strays, but we'll continue. Next one says hairspray. I get that. I feel that one. This comment, I feel that. Next review says, It's overpriced. It's not a bad pour, but I won't buy it again unless they drop the price or raise the proof. Again, I think there's a few people out there that like this bottle. I'm just not one of them. Last review says, no thanks. So many other ryes punch well above anything Whistle Pig makes for a similar price. So now you know it's Whistle Pig. So this is going to be the Whistle Pig Piggyback F1 Alfa Romeo edition. This is the rye whiskey with lychee and oolong tea barrel finish. It is a 96.77 proof, and their gimmick part is it's finished in G-force, right? They put it in like wind tunnels for like 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know exactly. I'm not a fan. But this thing tastes like unsweet tea with a weird fruit note. Again, I've had lychee. I'm not disliking lychee, but there's something about this bottle just doesn't sit right with me. Last year, this was my worst, like it won like worst whiskey of the year for me. I just like to do weird awards on New Year's and stuff like that. This is what that won. I have not touched it since, except for one time somebody's like, what's your punishment pour? It would be this. That's what I personally just doesn't fit well with me. I do know there's some people out there that do love this bottle. And again, every whiskey on this list, I think there is that bottle is for somebody. These are just not for me. So let me know down in the comments below, what is your least liked whiskey? What doesn't fit with you, or what's something you just personally are never going to drink again? So again, if you like videos like this and you want to see what other whiskey I dislike, feel free to let me know. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe to all that jazz, and I will see you on the other side. Peace.